Hello everybody, I hope you're all very well. It's Brass Monkeys here. Thank you for joining me on my Feelgood Friday vlog. Oh, March. What a bitch. we call March the sort of the trickster, well, I call it the trickster of the year. I hate March, it's the worst month. Sorry to all my friends with birthdays in March. Love you. But March, nah, do not love you. Honestly, every March we get a little bit of sort of glimmer of hope in early March that spring is on the way, but we know it's a lie. It's a great big lie. We call it false spring, and everyone knows about it, but nobody really talks about it because it's too painful. Every single year, just when all the buds are coming out, and we've all reached that point where we can't take any more cold winter gloom and dankness, March comes and just kind of rubs our noses in it. Just a little reminder that it's not over yet. However, we will be undefeated. So today I've got the cup of tea. I've even gone full Christmas. I've got my Sprouts mug out and hot cross buns. Oh, look at that. Lovely, spicy hot cross buns. Does everyone have them? Is this an English tradition or does the whole world have a hot cross bun? We have them at Easter. I'm an atheist. I don't really know what it's about, but they're delicious. So I'm all about that. I honestly don't know what it's for. Obviously, it's the cross for Christianity and Jesus. I don't know if it's an old English tradition or if it was sort of invented by a bread company after the war to flog more bread. Get your buns, get your spicy buns. I've no idea how old this tradition is, but every Easter we have chocolate Easter eggs and hot cross buns. Then lovely toasted, but I don't know what kind of chaos this is going to cause in the country, but I don't like mine toasted. I mean, I like them toasted, but I prefer them raw. They're baked buns with sultanas and currants and mixed fruit peel and mixed spice, and it's quite a dense dough, and then they're just like baked like buns, but they put a cross on the top with like a sort of a piping gun. It's obviously done in a mass produced machine system. The cross doesn't taste of anything, it's just for show. It's just for Easter. I'm just here for the party. Honestly, I don't understand what it's about. And then I put loads of butter on them, and I just kind of chew them because it's like a really dense, chewy dough. Delicious with a cup of tea. So, happy Easter Christmas to all. This week, I woke up this morning and I knew it was coming. Everyone in the country was sort of snowbound and just had this horrible thick blanket of snow. People have been off school, stopped people getting to work. It's England. It causes complete chaos. It can be a centimetre deep and the whole country grinds to a halt. So we have an expression for being really, really cold, and it's brass monkeys. The whole expression, no, don't be offended. The whole expression is, it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. It sounds vulgar and it sounds rude, and I always assumed that it sort of was rude, but I thought maybe it had something to do with pawn shops that used to have 3 brass balls hanging up outside, and I thought it was sort of like it got lost in the mists of time, but the meaning is still freezing. So if you're really cold, if it's really cold outside, you say, oh, it's brass monkeys. If you walk into a room and it's cold in the room, you can say, oh my God, it's brass monkeys in here. Put the heating on. And I thought this morning, oh, right, I'm just going to, out of curiosity, Google that and see what it means. Absolutely fascinating. It's not vulgar at all. It's a nautical expression. And it refers to cannonballs that were stacked in a pyramid shape on the decks of ships. And for the balls to stay in place, they used to place a triangle shape, sort of not dolly, but they called it a monkey of brass. So it was a brass triangle, sort of like in snooker, where they used to put it on the deck of the ship. That was called the monkey, and then they used to pile the metal cannonballs on top of each other in a pyramid shape. So when the temperature changed either very quickly or very dramatically, the brass would shrink and all the balls would fall off and they would roll around the deck of the ship. Hence, it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Oh, isn't that amazing? I love it. Now I know. So there you go. Little bit of folklore for you. Little bit of English folklore. Fantastic. So today, in honor of brass monkeys, I've gone through my collection and I've picked out some of my most loved, most interesting pieces of brassy knickknacks. I love brass. I don't know why. Honestly, I kind of prefer it to gold. Is that because I'm common? Here's another expression for you. Where there's muck, there's brass. And it's a Yorkshire expression, but everyone uses it in the whole country. And it means if there's a dirty job to be done, there's often a lot of money to be made from it. So if you're in like a scrap metal merchant, or you're into sort of like industrial scale recycling, but it's filthy stuff that you recycle, you could say, oh, don't knock it. Where there's muck, there's brass. Or if you are a professional hole digger, and you just go around about digging holes where you're asked to dig a hole, and it's filthy and it's hard and it's cold and it's dirty and it's a nasty job, but you get paid very well for it because not a lot of people want to dig holes in the cold and the dirt. Nice one. Hey, where there's muck, there's brass. And there's another expression that I think is typically English, but correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you use this and you are from another country. It's used to describe a special kind of woman. It's always women. Brassy. If you're a brassy woman in England, it means that you are loud and obnoxious and overconfident. Often blonde. However, there is plenty room for brassy brunettes, if you ask me. And it's a derogatory term. It is in no way meant to be a compliment, as in she's very strong and confident. Of course it isn't. It's meant as an insult. She's so brassy. What a brassy woman. What a brassy girl. However, brassy girls unite. So fabulous. We're getting brassy today. I'm going to eat my hot cross bun first, finish my tea, and then I'm going to pile up all my brassy knickknacks. So get yourself comfortable, get your own cup of tea or coffee or whatever you want to drink, and get your snacks ready, settle down. I've got some absolutely beautiful pieces to show you. If you've watched me every week, you'll know that I have a collection of glass and ceramic vases, normally at the end of my mid-century table. But I've been doing a massive job that I've been putting off for years, and finally found the solution to completely, totally wreck my hands. Can barely move my fingers. And this is not a sacrificial altar. It's not a slab. Don't worry. I've just got a surprise to reveal in another video in a few weeks when I finally get it finished. It's the biggest job that I had left to do in the house in the renovation, so I'm absolutely thrilled about that. It's gone so well. I don't know who to thank. Elvis, thanks Beyonce, everybody, I don't know. Taylor Swift, thank you. Anyway, completely off the point. But I have had to move all the furniture out, and as I moved this thing out, I found this. I forgot I had it. Mid-century brass coated magazine rack and record holder. It was tucked down there with the cheese plant. Completely forgot I had it. Oh, it's fabulous. Actually, if I had 10 more, I could put all my vintage magazines that were down there. I could put all my vintage magazines in there, but I haven't got 10 more. So I don't know what to do with this. I'll find something. But isn't that fantastic? Brass was massive mid-century. Brass and copper. Home decoration was everything. And brass is actually an alloy. It's a mixture of copper and zinc. So brass and copper just go perfectly well together. They look gorgeous together. And I'll give you an example of that right now. There we are, the iconic mid-century copper and brass pitcher. Every home had one. I'm convinced absolutely everybody had one. We had one in our house. These are, I think, the biggest you can get. I found one in the window of a charity shop, and I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a few years ago. I ran in and I just grabbed it. I was so excited. And when I got home, I thought, what this needs is a little friend. So I went on eBay and I found, I think that same night, I found its matching pair, and I've never seen another one since in that size and that shape. And I've had these two on the dining room table, which has sort of 1980s mid-century revival brass legs, and it's a smoked glass top, and it had those pampas-y grass things in it. Well, they both had, and they look great on the table for ages, but obviously all the furniture's up in that room. So there we are. That's the brass section. That's copper, obviously. And oh, they're just iconic, aren't they? I love them. So mid-century dream. I don't know where to go next. I've got everything just kind of piled up next to me, and it's all just looking at me, being brassy and beautiful. I'll just pick one. Oh my God. Massive wildcat. I don't think it's solid, but it feels it. Indian brass tiger. Agar. Pretty sure that's mid-century too. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just love it. It's not marked. Ugh. His face is fabulous. He was in my window display when it was Year of the Tiger, Chinese Year of the Tiger, and I have a small announcement to make. I found the rabbits. If you watch my Chinese New Year video from this year, and I searched the whole house, honestly, I killed myself looking for these rabbits, tiny little metal rabbits. Couldn't find them anywhere. Thought they'd absconded, thought they'd legged it, thought they'd hopped off. I found them. I'll show you them in another video though, because in the moment they're on the naughty step. I love it when that happens, when it just all happens. Okay, there's no order to this, but I think those pictures are possibly made in England. They look like classic English foundry pieces to me, quite arts and craftsy, if you know what I mean. The tiger, pretty sure that would be Indian brass. Huge producers of ornamental, decorated and etched brass, and I mean the whole world was and is brass mad. And I've got these fellas, which I believe are the Thai stags, the iconic decorated deers of Thailand. And not only him, but the whole fam. I went to stay in Bangkok for 3 months because I had some unfinished business, and went to some sightseeing places, and often you'd see these two decorated deers and they'd be facing away from each other. They look like they're having a row. Like, I'm not talking to you. Well, I'm not talking to you either. Shut up. You shut up. I said shut up first. I said shut up second. Just shut up. Shut up, shut up. Don't look at me. Don't Speak to me, don't look at me. And I never really found out what the significance of that was, but I'm all about harmony and friendship in this house, so I don't have them like that. I have them like this. I've just put them together. This wasn't what I was planning. Anyway, we're all friends here. There we go, and their little baby. So I've had those on my mantelpiece in the jungle room for a good few years now, really. I found them in the window of a charity shop, and I just walked in and said, "I'll take the stags, please." I think they were £26 or something like that. And I just remember now, I was waiting to pay for them, and the woman who went to get them from the back room, which was there, it was a room behind the till, separated by a partition wall, but they had a window in the back room so you could see them, so you could see the things that were for sale. So she went to get them and brought them back, and I was waiting for her to come back and pay for them, and I heard her speaking to the other woman in the back room saying, "Where's that brass woman? Where's that brassy woman?" Oh, I'm here waiting. So obviously she had my number, and she was referring to the brass animals, but I didn't let her get away with that. I think she left shortly after that. She was very apologetic. Good riddance, rudeness, but she knew. Okay, who's next? No, you fabulous thing. Indian breast cobra. Quite primitive, etched here with some little star detail, and it's got a little etched face. Cute. Solid brass, no marking, but I would pretty much guarantee that's Indian. And it also looks like it was either sand cast or wax cast, and I've been aware of that technique for a while, but I've just had a quick sort of look. I can't explain to you the whole process of wax casting brass because it's one of the oldest art forms on the earth. There's evidence of it from 6,500 years ago. I mean, amazing. So it's fascinating if you want to have a little delve yourself into Google and into a little bit of research on the internet. But briefly, it's just about making a wax model of the thing that you want to cast, and then it's coated, and then it's melted, and then the model that's been made is coated, and then that is attended to, and then after a few more stages they pour in the molten liquid, gold, silver, brass, and they will get a copy, a molded copy of the original piece. I just think it's amazing. So I think this looks like it's sand cast because it has some slight texture to it here, and then this looks like it's been etched a little bit later. I mean, it's not fine art, it's not great craftsmanship, but I love a sort of a folk art. A fabulous example. Hello. Oh my God. I found this in an antique shop, and I just thought, oh, it's me and Begonia. It's me and Begonia. Oh my God. Look, that's me. That's Begonia. Pretty much represents our equal heights too. I'm not the biggest donkey in the pack. Oh, that's not right. I'm not the tallest donkey in the pack. Well, isn't this fantastic? These, I think, are wax cast. Do you think that's wax cast? Oh, look at the state of my hands. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry if it puts you off your tea. So these, I'm pretty sure, are made in the lost wax casting tradition. I thought that they were possibly llamas when I found them, or alpacas. Um, there is various listings on the internet that they are deers, but it seems the most popular consensus is that they're donkeys. Um, I don't care what they are. I just love them. Look at their tails. And I love the texture. It's just so tactile, so beautiful, so endearing, totally charming. And I mean, oh God, look. I mean, so intricate too. If this is, oops, just knocked him out. If this is actually lost wax casting, the detail in there is incredible. It looks like wool, it looks like stitching. Hello. I get that face quite a lot in the morning. Where's my breakfast? She's asleep upstairs, by the way, in a flamingo. She's absolutely fine. She went to the vets last week to get her booster, and she was a little bit out of sorts for a couple of days, but completely back to firing form. Trashing all the work that I've just done on the final stages of the renovation. So there we are. Those are gorgeous. Here's another brass cast elephant. I think this might be more mass produced. It just doesn't have the detail, but I could be wrong. I could be doing it a complete disservice. There's a little paperweight and he's beautiful. His trunk's up. I love his hat. Oh my God, look at my hands. Cutie. And I think this is my last elephant, but this is slightly different. This is coiled brass, and it's quite an art form too. These can fetch incredibly high amounts of money. If you have a large one and it's very detailed, they go for a fortune. I can't remember where I got this. Oh, look, his little tusks. I love doing these videos because you just get to remind yourself how amazing some little things are. Like, I've had these treasures a while now, and I get excited when I find them, and I sit and stare at them for ages, and then I sort of either put them on my display shelves or they go in drawers, and then I know they're there, and I get the comfort from knowing that they're there, but I sort of partly forget about how fabulous they are. And this is proper fabulous, isn't it? Oh, look at his stripy trousers. Amazing. Go with your friends. Sorry, I'm sorry. Made in India, frog. For all the frog freaks out there, there he is. What else? Oh, now. Next, I think I found this on eBay too, and I think I got it for quite a fantastic bargain. I didn't really know what it was at the time, but I had to have it. It's the sort of thing that I wouldn't be able to leave the shop without. It's everything. It's antique, it's brass, it's got little peacocks on it, and also it's got a secret mechanism. So I'm gonna have to just use two hands, I think, for this. Oh, am I? No, I can do it. I can do it. So you undo him. This one, does it just come all the way out? Might have to come all the way out. Sorry, bear with me. It's worth the wait. Put it like that, and then, oh my God. It's magic. So I have since found out that this is a cum pot, and you can put spices in the containers or coloured powders, and then you close it up and lock it tight. Here's back together. And honestly, this is the sort of thing I live for. If I had that sort of mind, I'd invent these sort of things, but obviously some incredible culture has got there before me. That was such a brassy thing to say. Oh, it's amazing. Look at them all. Look at them all. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, India, for being so incredible. What else have we got? Can't stop doing it. It's like my favorite joke. Oh, sorry. There, look. Oh, look at him. Look at his face. Is that in focus? There we are. Look at him. I think these are glass, maybe glass. Possibly originally they would have been made of coral, and I think this is Indian, and I got it on eBay in the night, crawling through eBay one night, and I think I paid about £25 for him. Oh, there's one missing. Oh well, never mind. He's got plenty more, and I just absolutely adore him. Don't know anything about him really. If you know the history of these creatures, I know that they do a lot of other animals. I think this is either an alligator or a crocodile. And what's super cute is he's got a tongue that... There we go. But he's fantastic. That's almost all of my animal collection, my brassy my brassy animals, but not entirely all. No. So obviously India and other countries in Asia excel at brass animals, but we can't be left out. It's a poodle, just in case you weren't sure. Be proud, my child, be proud. Boop. Now, don't you feel inadequate? There you go. Oh, you look really at home there. But you're not alone. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not Indian. But I think it might be made in Greece. I'm pretty sure it's European. Shocked cat with 2 kittens. Adorbs. I'm going to put you next to your friend the poodle. Oh, look at everybody. Oh, what a fantastic menagerie. Oh, I love them so much. Honestly, they're so small, anyone can collect these. And you don't need a lot of space. Well, you're not going to have a lot of space once you start. Sure does accumulate. That's the last time I'm doing it. I'm really sorry. I can't help it. Once I get something in my head, I can't stop. Here we are. Last owl. I think this is made in China, and it is a cloisonné brass thimble in the shape of an owl. I think they're more sort of decorative, collectible, as opposed to usable. However, they do actually have a little patch on the head there that you could use for actual needlework. I could have done with this the other day actually. So, super cute. There we are. Tiny. I'll put you somewhere. Where should I put you? Oh, about there. Oh yeah, fabulous. Oh my god, what a hat. If you want to get ahead, get a hat. Okay, I think what I'll do next is just show you my collection of vintage etched Indian vases and bowls. I don't have any stories with any sort of personal experiences with them. I just love them. I just went through a phase of scooping them up when I saw them at the flea market or in the thrift stores. So feast your eyes. Beautiful. I'll put that one there. Gorgeous, tall pair of flute style engraved brass vases, Indian, with I'm not sure how they do the inlay. Don't think it's an enamel. I think it's possibly, wait a sec. Yep, I've had a close look. I think it's like an enamel style paint that's put on and then wiped off once they've done the engraving. But if you know, please tell me in the comments. I'd love to know myself. I'd love to know the technique. Next, I've got a beautiful engraved peacock dish, footed bowl. Gorgeous. Next, I have a pair of these beautiful etched, made in India, stamped HH, and these are gorgeous quality vintage etched trays, quite small trays. There's one. There's two. There we go. And not originally together, but form the most beautiful decorative display. Awesome. I believe these are antique Indian brass edged fluted bowls. One, two. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love the way brass ages. I love it when it gets that sort of dark, exotic, aged patina. But I also love the bright brass that looks very much like gold. A beautiful contrast to the aged. I mean, together they look amazing, and you can see the difference in the tones of the brass. But I have a pair of even brighter gold brass vases, which are possibly European. I'm not too sure. Maybe Indian, but possibly sort of more modern Indian, mid-century as opposed to earlier, of the bright brass swagged vases. I took a few goes. That was not my first take. So here's one. And bear with. Here's the other. Oh my God. This looks epic. It's just beautiful. There we go. Take it in. Look at him having a peep. Oh, and look at her. Kitty cat. Getting towards the end, and I've run out of room, but I'll also show you this that I found in a car boot sale, which is like a flea market. This is Victorian. It's an antique Victorian Egyptian revival vase, and that has Egyptian scenes, camels and the Sphinx and various Egyptian people, and it's full of little faces, little knickknacks. I've got to put this down. It weighs an absolute ton. Hang on. There you go. Is that a better view? Also vintage, but possibly 80s or 90s. I have some pieces like this and this, which are sort of Turkish inspired, but they were for shops and companies like Pastimes, which was I don't know if that was an international company, but certainly in England it was inspired by like liberties and arts and crafts, but it was a chain of shops that was huge in the sort of 80s and 90s. I think unfortunately they might have gone out of business, but they were very high quality, and they are now highly collectible, all the pieces. Oh, is that going to stay? Yeah, great. So that's that. And this now. I got very excited when I saw it across the shop from a distance. I thought that looks really interesting. So I went to have a look, and it was quite expensive for something in a charity shop. And I could feel that there was something inside. And I opened it up, and inside was an egg. An egg. Perfectly timed for Easter. But I took it out, and I thought, that is either something or nothing. It's either an incredible work of art or it's just a bit of tat from Amazon. And I didn't know, I couldn't tell, because the egg itself felt amazing, but the box, there were just like so many red flags. That corner, the way the text is on the top, there's a bit of missing foil there. The little catch, it just seemed a bit askew. It's not really centered up properly, and it seemed a bit cheap. But the egg and the quote, I was confused. And it was £5 in a charity shop that's normally really, really cheap. So all of those elements sort of threw me. They confused me for a bit. And I went home that night and I thought, I can't stop thinking about that egg. What's that brass egg? What's that about? So I googled brass egg in a box, and up came the story of a Austrian artist. Immediately, straight away, up came information about Karl Auerbach. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Who was an Austrian designer, and he created the original piece, which is, I mean, a highly desirable collector's piece now. And his was a brass egg paperweight. It was lovely and bright, shiny. It was made of the bright gold, the shiny gold. And this obviously isn't. This is matte and it's quite dark. And Karl Auerbach's box was made of wood, and it was a sort of a bright wood colour, sort of like a sort of golden wood colour with black text on the top. And so I wasn't sure, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I zoomed back to the charity shop, the thrift store, the next morning, waiting for it to open at 9 o'clock so I could go and have another look, because the thought of owning something like that was just irresistible. So yeah, it was still there, because I think I'd seen it at about 4 o'clock the night before, and they shut at 5, and I didn't think that anyone would really buy it because it was £5 and it was so odd. Anyway, I picked it up and I thought, this is definitely a fake, but it might not be. So I thought, what the hell? Here's a £5. Bought it, brought it home, had a good look at it, sat with it in my hand for ages. Sort of sat. It's really heavy, it's lovely and tactile, and it's small. It's really cute. It's just a nice thing. But I am pretty certain, after everything I've seen on the internet, even though one exactly like this was sold for, I think, £400 at auction, same box, everything, I think it's a fake. I think. I'm not an expert, but if you are an expert, or you know everything about these eggs, please let me know. Please leave a comment. It's still a fabulous little thing. Pretty sure it's fake though. Oops. A gift from a very special bird. And my penultimate pieces for my selection are these candlestick holders. They look quite plain, don't they? These obviously don't match, do they? No, they don't. Are they ordinary? No, they aren't. These I bought separately, probably made yesterday, very thin, very cheap, but I found them and they look like they had the exact right shape hole. Dung, 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 dung. So I bought these, I don't know, they're about £1 each or something like that from the charity shop, and they fitted. However, these hold quite a story. Right, you might look at them, you think, basic, Victorian, mass-produced, possibly late deco, might not be Victorian at all, but they just did pump them out. Self-propelling candle holding, nothing exciting about that. Made in their thousands. However, what's that? What is that for? That's what got me going. And I took them up to the till, and I said to the lady who was at the cashier's desk, I said, what? I know you're going to know. I don't know, but I'm just desperate to know, and I'm convinced you will know. And she didn't know, but all of a sudden she just sort of picked them up and was like sort of possessed by this sort of spirit inside her and did something. And then all of a sudden she unscrewed them, took them apart, and did that. That is brilliant. And do you know what these are? Hang on, let me tie it up for you. These are campaign candlesticks. So when so-called British gentlemen were going out to India to rob the country blind, they would pack all the things that that they needed into chests and set it all off on steamer ships, and it was called campaign furniture. So it would be extremely compact, and it would pack down almost flat, and they would set up their lives in their comfort and splendor wherever they went. So you'd put a couple of nails in a tree nearby, or on a fence or something somewhere near, and then you could hook your candlesticks on. Oh God, incredible. On the go. But also what's more exciting about this is I found subsequently that traveling preacher men, as in Dusty Springfield, would use these as they traveled across America, and they would go into the next town, set up like a little tent, or a little bivouac in the middle of the woods, and they would use these to read the Bible or to hold small gatherings to spread the word of the Lord. So they would unscrew the candlesticks, put them flat, put them in their backpack and on their horse, and off they'd go into the next town. So there you have it. Campaign candlestick holders, also used by sons of preacher men in the Wild West. Oh God, and now I've got them. Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely fascinating. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to put a couple of nails in something in the yard in this summer and sing some Dusty Springfield. Amazing. And last but not least, the grand finale. I could not possibly finish this video without a bit of Ealing comedy slapstick humour. Chaos. God, avert your ears, Nana. I'm so sorry about that. Honestly, if I hear that sound, I am gone. I am in pieces. So I'm not going to do it again. Don't worry, you're safe. Sorry if that gave you a little fright. But wakey. Oh God, thanks so much for staying with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, what you waiting for? Go on, honk it. There, I think it's there. Just honk. And have a fantastic week. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi. Oh, I love you. Yeah. You're having none of that ridiculous honking, are you? No. Didn't even wake you up. Love you.